Hi, welcome to Gemstone Tarot, Friday the 10th of October 2025, where it looks like the moon is in Gemini, which is very nice. Moon in Gemini, I'm going to have a look as well in, because I've just been to my friend's book launch in London, and so I'm on a bit of a literary thing at the moment. Let's have a little look in the literary almanac. It's very literary. Book launch was in Notting Hill, so it was in an absolutely beautiful little bookshop. Everything's beautiful over there. It's just gorgeous. Okay, look at this one. A novel set amid the rhythms of the academic year. Normal People by Sally Rooney, 2018. Has anybody... I confess I've tried to read Sally Rooney and not got very far, so I want to know if any of you have read her. And also I also confess to being somebody who, if I don't like a book early on, I don't keep going with it. And I think that's probably, in the long term, a mistake. But anywho, so normal... Oh, that's interesting. So it starts with, I hated this book the first time I read it. So it's not just me. I did not see the point of it at all, but perhaps a little bit like falling in love, it took perseverance and patience. And watching the TV adaptation, oh, is that what that is? Okay, so that's been all over Netflix or whatever, hasn't it? And I didn't join the dots. And then finally I was able to see it for what it was. Set during on-off couple, so it features an on-off couple called Marianne and Connell. Last years at school and first years at university. It's a bold, brave evocation of first love. Its simple, direct dialogue tricks you into thinking it's a straightforward book. But eventually I got how insightful it was in its own way, and about how difficult it can be to communicate with the one we love, how hideous and painful the whole experience can be, and yet how life-changing. Open inverted commas, quote from book, he brought her goodness like a gift, and now it belongs to her. Meanwhile, his life opens out before him in all directions at once. They've done a lot of good for each other. That's a very positive spin on it. I think I'm a little bit cynical. In the end, for me, it was a beautiful reading experience. Awkward, frustrating, and tender. Oof! Oof! So if anybody... Cat hair, probably. If anybody has read it, chime in the comments. Let us all know about it. If anyone has got past about 2 pages like I did. I know. Okie dokes. God, do you ever get that where like a bit of fluff will just follow you around all day? Tarot of the 78 Doors. We're in the bedroom. So let's make use of the different decks that we've got. Don't know where the men are today, but they're not here. So I'm happy about that. They're not on any of the streets near me either. Yes. Right. Here we go. Oof. Right. Knight of Wands. Who is calling with a secret giftie. He's got his pixie boots on. He's like being mischievous and a little bit cheeky, so he's hiding it behind his back in a real, I'm a little bit mischievous, I'm a little bit cheeky, you know. It's kind of, when I'm just looking at the other cards, yeah, I feel like there's going to be a bit of a rush of ideas and maybe even a feeling of inspiration, where you think, ooh, I could try this. So let's say you were currently looking for a job, as some of you are, let me know in the comments if you are, and you think, well, I'm not going to look on the normal list of where I look for a job on Indeed or Monster or whatever, I don't know what they're called, but whatever they're called. I'm going to look in a weird place. I'm going to do this in a weird way. I'm going to do this a little bit left field. Okay, a little bit left field. And fortune favours the brave, I think, is what I'm getting. Okay, because the next card we have, and I'll cover her modesty, is the Star. Okay, gorgeous, gorgeous card. And this sort of thing that looks a bit like the Arc de Triomphe is like a celebratory arch, isn't it? She's got the 2 jugs of water and she's standing near the Arc de Triomphe, butt naked, with 2 jugs of water. Fortune favouring the brave a lot there. And it's about going through a threshold, going through, and the threshold might actually just be your own self-limiting beliefs or your own just inability to get past yourself. Because sometimes, you know, the biggest battle we have is with ourselves. In fact, most of the time. I would say that was the case. And so it feels like getting past the battle of the self, getting past your own enemy lines, getting past your own restrictions. And then here we have, and the Star, of course, is about wishing on a star. It's about manifestation. It's about dreaming big. It's about following your North Star, all of that stuff. And that came up a lot in the readings that we did, in the monthly October readings. And thank you everybody again for hyping the readings. Made an enormous difference to the channel, so please do go ahead and hype any other videos that come out if they really do appeal to you. Okay. We have also the 8. I like this because it's like a key convention, isn't it? I love a key. Love me a key. I also really like the, what's it called? Well, the profession of locksmithing. I find it really, really fascinating. God knows why. I also like the insides of clocks and watches. We all have our nerdy side, so please share yours in the comments. No shade here whatsoever. So here we have a selection of really gorgeous and interesting keys. You know, there's all sorts, isn't there? And it's the 8 of Wands, which of course means communication. But for me, it's going to be communication that is the key to unlocking a door that you would never have tried to open in the past. Okay? We've got the 9 of Cups in the reverse. So here is our chap who is having his roast dinner and a little glass of nasty spumante. There he is. And we've got it in the reverse. So this is going against the tide. So if you can imagine that the tide at the moment is that you're feeling like you can't quite have what you want, that you feel like whatever your dreams are, they're not going to get matched by reality. If you're in that kind of feeling, this is where you're cheeky and you go ahead regardless. You don't let that put you off, okay? Then we have the 7 of Wands in reverse. And the 7 of Wands is Mars in Leo, and it's when you're feeling quite kind of chopsy and a little bit. It could be like if you're imagine if you could start a fight in an empty room with yourself. It's that. It's that beating yourself up for what you're not doing. Why am I never like this? Why do I procrastinate? Why don't I put myself forward? Why don't I? And we all have our own means of comparison. Comparison or comparison. And let me take those glasses out of my pocket. This is about going beyond that. This is just you, and you've got some quirky stuff going on, and it's not being handed to you on a plate. It's not going to get served up, but if you go after it, fortune will favour the brave. And then lastly, we have the 10 of Wands in reverse, and I really like that that's in reverse. I never quite understand this one. Sort of 2 people, he's trying to get out of I think he's going the wrong way, like one of those, you know, when you go to the supermarket, and I do this a lot, and you sort of end up at the door that is the indoor when you want to go out. That kind of thing. Again, this is the door you never even knew existed. Now, not only do you know it exists, but you blaze the path to it yourself by saying to yourself, you know what, I'm going to give that one, what is that over there? I'm going to give that a try, and I'm going to get lucky. I'm going to use these keys, and one of them is going to open that door, even though I have all the normal fears and reservations that I would normally have. I'm going to go beyond them. I like this. Leave me a comment. Let me know how it resonates, and I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.